Hi, living in Boulder, vlog April 23rd, 2025, 23 a.m. Thursday. Um, I figured I'd do my video now because it's 5:23. It's daytime. Sun hadn't started to come out yet, but maybe I should lie down. Bird seen. I've been working. Um, Yesterday I was spending most of the day doing rather boring stuff on my ancient history timeline. Making sure that all of the stages, ages, epochs, periods, and all that stuff are on the vertical part of my timeline. It was on the horizontal, and then I was having to convert a lot of other stuff because a lot of the ages were using the battle. I call it. I got all my CSS designs for my main website. That's why they're called from a regular history timeline. But I changed it from battles to culture because it was a little bit bigger font, and I already used battle. Or battle looks just like country, and I use that for the animals. So a lot of times you don't know, or I don't know which CSS, which font I want to use until I get a bunch of fonts up there for both the words and for the borders. For example, right now I'm wondering if I want to have the dotted war font, or maybe it's battle font, instead of just the solid country font. Yeah, you figure that stuff out just naturally. You get convinced of something. But it kind of took forever, just making sure everything was aligned. I was just racing, trying to fix it, really, make it look consistent. And then over the last hour or so, I've been putting dinosaurs, preparing dinosaurs to put them on my timeline. I've got a bunch of dinosaurs already, but I didn't get a complete list or a semi-complete list. I decided to get a list of dinosaurs from this video called Walking with Dinosaurs, which somebody made an animation of a person walking and then different dinosaurs going past them to show what they look like and how big they are. And they had the list of dinosaurs at the bottom of the video, and so I just copied that, and then I'm putting the information. So I'm doing the dates of the range of the dinosaurs, and then I'm writing where they were found, what part of the world they live. I definitely want to know all that stuff. And then as far as identifying whether it's a vegetarian or a carnivore, I just do that color codedly. That's what all the color coding and font coding is for. Save space. So yeah, after I do these dinosaurs and plug them into my timeline, I'm going to do the same thing because the person did a video for like Cenozoic, animals from the time after the dinosaurs, all the giant beasts, mammoth and stuff. So I'll get a bunch of those, throw those on, all the different species, and after I throw it on, I'll see how it works. I'll see how it looks, because there's a whole bunch of them. But if you spread them out over time, maybe they won't have to overlap, and you won't have to have a timeline that's too long. I'm dealing with a little bit of an issue with my timeline from 500 BC to 1000 BC South Europe with Rome because I included all of the different tribes that were at the time of Rome, and it just goes on forever. And I think I need to consolidate that by putting all the different tribes that existed at the same time all together. That's the one thing that I'm going to do. I'm almost perfect in my timeline design. I almost get it right the first time every time, but not always. That's the key, is to try to get stuff right earliest on as possible so that you don't have to redo stuff and keep redoing stuff. There are a bunch of people there's no way in hell they could do what I do. They could make a timeline like mine because they'd never be decisive enough, and then they just give up. You know, they do a little bit and then be like, oh no, it needs to do, oh no, it needs to, and then they just give up. So with me, I know, and then I go for it, you know. And then I do micro adjustments after that. So that's how my timeline works, you know. I I I look at it, you know. I build it based on how can I get the most information in the smallest space. And then as I look at it, I just if something bothers me, you know, and something's not functioning right, then that's when I fix it. I have the don't fix it unless it's broke mentality, and I know if something's broken just by looking at it, you know. Maybe that's one reason I like to smoke weed. You know, I like to switch up my mind, the way that I look at things, so that when I look at my timeline, like it covers all bases, and there's absolutely nothing that I would ever change about my timeline. That's when I know it's done. And then that's when I would then explain why I made all of the different decisions. You know. And then invite people to critique the hell out of my timeline, because whoever critiques me gets critiqued. I get to critique the hell out of your critique, and that's where the fun starts. So nobody's critiquing my timeline now, though. Nobody has anything to say about my whole website, whether it's positive or negative. I think the jury's just still out, and it's pretty much common knowledge that the jury's out. So nobody messes with me, and I don't mess with anybody, and I don't mess with myself. I just keep working. But I what day is it? I guess it's Thursday morning. I told myself I think I started like last Saturday, so I gave myself until this Sunday, 1 week. I already know by the time I get to Sunday, it's gonna be worlds different. My ancient history timeline's gonna. I'll put the link below if I remember. Ancient history timeline's gonna be worlds different than when it was a week before, and if I'm still making crazy huge progress and it's kind of interesting, I'm throwing a lot of animals on there or whatever, I'll throw another week at it or a few days or whatever. We'll see. But I'll know when it's time to play. The next thing that I need to do is wick whack interesting, and that's I have all the philosophers from classic history as well as Renaissance, Enlightenment, and I'm just going to do that trusty old Control F search because I have the advantage over everybody else on the planet in that I have my entire book on one page. Like the only other people who do that are Archive, if I remember correctly. No, Gutenberg. But theirs is in one page because it's double rough wrapped. It's like the photocopy right out of the scan or something. It's impossible. It's hard to read. So I'm the only person with an actual readable book. That's where the book's all on one page. Yeah. It's a huge advantage for me because I can just Control F certain philosophers on all the other philosophers, find where they're mentioned, and then find where they're talking. Boom. Get it done real quick. When I told my mom what I was up to, that I'm connecting all of the references that the philosophers have for each other, she tweaked. She's like, what? That'll take forever. And I'm like, you don't know. It doesn't actually. I think I did Montesquieu in one day, and he mentioned Plato 56 times, and I located every single one of those, pretty much. A lot of them right to the exact location. Most of them. So anyway, enough tooting my own horn. I was listening to well, I was mainly just studying my timeline, but I was watching a lot of documentaries of like plate tectonics and stuff on Amazon, and now I'm watching this dude talk about people. It's kind of a new channel, Dr. Todd Grande talking about people. I got diagnosed with Asperger's, but also with persecuted personality disorder, the double, which is interesting because that's related to narcissism. So that's because a dude did a YouTube video that I'm a narcissist. I don't have anything wrong with me. I'm just super smart is all, and hardworking. Anyways, enough talking. Talk to you tomorrow.